There's a house next door to me that's been abandoned, and the yard, the grass high as hell and everything. There's a couple of abandoned cars out there beside the house. Well, yesterday I get off work about 7 o'clock. A Mexican guy pulled up. He said, "These your cars?" I said, "No." He said, "I just bought this house, man." I said, "All right, that's what's up." He was like, "You know whose cars these is?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, I bought the house, not the cars." Okay, I'm like, cool. I'm thinking he's just coming to look at the house. I go back in the house, do a little straighten up. I swear to God, I walk back out the house. Now I'm getting off about 7:20. It's fucking 9 Mexican trucks just pulled up. They got fucking beer, lights, and shit, right? So I'm like, what y'all finna do? He said, we finna fix this house. I said, what kind of crew you got working after 7 o'clock? He said, these my friends. The fucking house is fixed this morning. They went in there and drywalled that fucking house. Wow. I just left out of there. It was a fucking abandoned house. That bitch looked new this morning.
Now I want to take this opportunity to give you some advice. Over the course of your life, you will find that things are not always fair. You will find that things happen to you that you do not deserve and that are not always warranted. But you have to put your head down and fight, fight, fight. Never, ever, ever give up. Things will work out just fine. Look at the way I've been treated lately. No politician in history has been treated worse or more unfairly. You can't let them get you down. You can't let the critics and the naysayers get in the way of your dreams. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right.
Oh, God. Jason!
That is a Gen X reincarnate if I have ever seen one before. He had no helmet on, going at full speed, tucks and rolls, stands up, and he cheers. Now later on, he's going to find out that he's actually seriously injured, and he's probably going to need medical attention. But that's okay, because what he just experienced there is something that most children these days will never experience, and that's the pure joy of being completely terrified, coming to a complete stop, and recovering, realizing you're still alive, and understanding how cool that was. You know, if more children these days would just experience that, I think this world would have been a much better place. But no, they're stuck on that damn video games, playing Call of Duty with me late nights, not doing that. Is there any way that we could replicate this child, or replicate the parenting skills for all children? I think that would be awesome.
Why ribbons in the Marine Corps?
Oh, God. Jason!
Why ribbons in the Marine Corps are 1/8 of an inch up? Exactly 1/8 of an inch. Who knows why? Because we made that up, right? The reason we made that up is to give you something to focus on, right? Because adherence, rigid and ruthless adherence to standards like NATOPS for pilots is required to be taught every single day. It's not a harassment or hazing package. It's 1/8 of an inch up and center, because when I tell you to set your machine gun on a 272-degree magnetic principal direction of fire, it doesn't mean 273. It means 272. If your final attack heading is 175 magnetic, it doesn't mean 176. It means 175. So it's the rigid, ruthless adherence to discipline and taking care of our people.
Brian, come on, boy. So I'm purposely making as light of this as possible, because to her, this is a big deal. Like, this is a little bit of a trauma response. This is out of control. I don't know what to do. And the worst thing I can do is focus on what she's doing wrong right now. She's finding her peace. She's figuring it out. She's self-soothing. Oh, Yeah. Sometimes we don't know what to do other than just run to the Father and say, Papa, help.
What would you tell if you only had 3 days?
I wouldn't say a word to nobody. And the reason for that is if you don't have time for me while I'm here in hell, then why change because you know my days are numbered?
I used to be so fucking happy. I used to be happy. I don't know what's wrong with myself. I used to be so pure-hearted. That all changed, and I became quiet, unhappy, tired all the fucking time. I don't want to socialize. I stay in bed all day when I can, in sleep, to block out reality. I use music as a way to escape, but it doesn't really fucking work. It just helps. You know, I envy people that are happy. I've got a family that doesn't really fucking family, and when they do, I feel like the fucking black sheep. I wish I was someone else. I wish I was happy. I've got a short attention span. I zone out a lot. I used to want to go out all the fucking time, but now all I want to do is stay home, locked up in my room, sleeping, watching movies, and listening to music. I'm starting to fucking hate myself. I overthink everything. Every fucking thing. And this smile that I put on is so fucking fake. Deep down inside, I am slowly fucking giving up. I don't know what to do or how to express myself.
The bottom line is, no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
The hero stumbles, while the cowards rejoice. Nothing feels better to a coward than to watch a brave guy fall.
This is a message to Gen Z from Gen Y. First of all, you gotta calm down. I know, it's not a good start, you already don't like it, but that's why you gotta calm down. I was born in 1987, I graduated high school in 2005, and I was you just a few years ago. People said, millennials, they're so lazy, they're so entitled, they're so this, they're so that. It's so common for the previous generation to say that about the next generation coming up. I remember what that was like. Because interestingly enough, all of us were you. But before you start squealing, you need to understand something. A lot of life understanding comes from experience. It's just something you can't fast track. You need to understand that your outrage is being weaponized against you. Because unfortunately for all of us, what we don't know, we just don't know. And sometimes there's things that you can't be told. You just have to learn them yourself. Our job as the people who came before you is not to tell you what to think, but to teach you how to think. Your energy, your concern, it's all understood. We've all been there. We've all felt that. But squealing and outrage and violence, it's just not the answer. There's a lot of things that you're gonna learn in the next 10 years that you would have never anticipated. These things.
Because some people are happy just fucking hiking. There's some people that just want to get up in the morning and have granola and go for a walk, and that's what makes them happy. And there's other people that want to lock themselves in an office and write a book, and that's what makes them happy. And there's some people that just want to go to the gym. They just want to have a good job and then take yoga all day. Fucking do whatever you want to do, but you gotta leave everybody else alone. And so many people want to control other people because they don't have control of their own life.
If he could do it, This isn't a movie.
He believed in himself. And you can too.
Oh man, you gonna put it on me like that?
You can do anything that you want. You can get singing lessons, get a better job, make more money. You could be even like rich. You could live in the White House someday. You could be president.
Me?
Do what you want to do. It's not up to other people. It's up to you.
When you have a bad day, give up. Go home and sleep. Fuck it. Try again tomorrow. Not every bad day can become a good day. Some days are fucked and cannot be unfucked. When you have a day that is fucked beyond repair, that is the universe speaking.
If death is just the end, what's the point?
What's the point in what?
Living. Might as well just kill yourself.
So if you're watching a movie and you're really enjoying it, something with Kevin Hart in,
Yeah.
and someone points out that this will end eventually, do you just go, oh, forget it then, what's the point, and just turn it off?
No, because I can watch it again.
Well, I think life is precious because you can't watch it again. I mean, you can believe in an afterlife if that makes you feel better. Doesn't mean it's true. But once you realise you're not going to be around forever, I think that's what makes life so magical. One day you'll eat your last meal, smell your last flower, hug your friend for the very last time. You might not know it's the last time. So that's why you should do everything you love with passion, you know? Treasure the few years you've got because that's all there is.
If you love somebody, it's a fickle happening because no human being will happen 100% the way you want them. Every human being on this planet is going to disappoint you, believe me. Not because they'll do something wrong, because nobody can fulfill the unrealistic expectation you have of them. It's simply not possible. Unless you're still such a hopeless romantic, you're still waiting, that ideal person is going to come from somewhere. No, believe me, whoever comes, I want you to know, the ideal people whom you worship, when Krishna was there, his wives complained, all right?
So there is no hope for us. Yes, please remember this.
Oh, I just have loneliness now, haunting loneliness.
Tell me about that.
No, I don't want to, nothing to tell, Damon. It's just kind of lonely.
Sometimes you're just lonely?
Yeah.
And what do you do to help yourself with the loneliness?
I don't go to bed. I stay up all night. And that makes you feel awful too, so... No, I just...
Don't give a fuck. Many of you are feeling the sadness and frustration in your lives because you give too many fucks about things that don't bring the joy or benefit in your life. Give no fucks. Of course, it is not easy to suddenly overnight stop giving a fuck. Especially after you spent your whole life giving unnecessary fucks. Like with any bad habit, it takes time to break. For instance, if you start today, give one less fuck than you did yesterday. Tomorrow, again, one less fuck. The next day, maybe 2 less fucks, and the next day, maybe 3 less fucks. After a few weeks, you might find you are giving far fewer fucks than you did before.
Matthew says, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. But of lately, I don't have much to say. Repetitive prayers have become nails on a chalkboard, so I sometimes choose to stay silent. Though I know it's not true, I sometimes feel like God is tired of my voice. Lies of the enemy come gift-wrapped in comfort, so I often stay stagnant. Every time I try to move forward, it seems as if I'm on a treadmill with a blindfold and a record of my past mistakes playing in the background. I've said sorry more times than I can count, yet the one time you said it is finished outnumbers my tired apologies. God, I always come back to my first love. The moment I first felt your spirit and remember how far you've carried me. God, this mountain in front of me. It's been in the way for quite some time, so with mustard seed faith and every ounce of fight I have left attached, I ask that you move it. Because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom.
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world. and it'll make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead.
I fought through a lot of shit, and I've done a lot of shit, but I'll tell you this, one thing I would never do is get fucked over by some girl I was just trying to love. I'm a good dude, you get that? And I don't deserve to be treated like this.